Border Management and Baltic Resilience. A strategic look at Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania's frontline security. Welcome to a strategic look at frontline security in the Baltic Sea region, where Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania stand as the eastern gateway to the European Union. These three nations, small in size but critical in location, share borders with Russia and Belarus, placing them at the very edge of European geopolitics. In this video, we explore how border management in the Baltics has evolved into a pillar of resilience, responding not only to migration and physical threats, but also to cyber warfare, disinformation, and geopolitical pressure. From razor-wire fences and rapid military deployments to cross-border cooperation and intelligence sharing, the Baltic states are redefining what it means to protect a border in the 21st century. This is not just about guarding lines on a map. It's about protecting values, defending sovereignty, and maintaining the stability of the entire European Union. Let's take a closer look at how the Baltics are turning pressure into preparedness, through strategy, resilience, and regional solidarity. In mid-2021, Lithuania faced a sudden and unprecedented influx of migrants crossing its border from Belarus. Over just a few months, more than 4,000 people, mostly from Iraq, Syria, and African countries, entered Lithuania illegally. To compare, in previous years, the average was only around 80 crossings annually. This was not a spontaneous migration. It was a politically motivated act by Belarus. After the EU imposed sanctions on Belarus over human rights violations, the Belarusian government responded by actively directing migrants toward the Lithuanian border. This tactic is known as hybrid warfare, using non-military tools like migration to destabilize a neighboring country. Lithuania responded swiftly. A state of emergency was declared. Military forces were deployed to support the border guards. A razor-wire fence began construction along the 679-kilometer border. Temporary migrant camps were set up, and new laws were passed allowing for migrant pushbacks. These actions were controversial but aimed at restoring control quickly. Support from the European Union was immediate. Frontex, the EU's border protection agency, sent guards and equipment. Lithuania also received financial and legal support. EU Commissioner Ylva Johansson emphasized that using migrants for political leverage was unacceptable, a clear sign that the EU viewed this as an attack on the broader European community. The crisis tested Lithuania's resilience and border infrastructure. In response, the country made rapid upgrades to its policies, security operations, and coordination with European partners. This case set an important precedent for how nations can respond to hybrid threats, combining fast decision-making, international cooperation, and flexible policy tools. In conclusion, the Belarus-Lithuania migrant crisis shows how modern border threats go beyond traditional military risks. It also demonstrates the importance of being prepared, acting quickly, and working closely with allies. For small states like Lithuania, resilience means adapting fast and standing firm with support from regional partners like the EU.
Lithuania has built the first stretches of a steel wall on its border with Belarus, since migrants from the Middle East and other areas began entering from Belarus this year. The European Union accuses Belarus of deliberately encouraging the migrants to enter EU states Poland, Lithuania and Latvia via Belarusian territory, as a way of putting pressure on the bloc. Belarus has repeatedly denied this, but its president, Alexander Lukashenko, has said his country would no longer stop the migrants, since EU sanctions drain resources. All three EU countries have put stretches of razor wire on the border to stop the migrants. Last week, Lithuania began putting up the first stretches of the 11-foot-high steel fence, topped with razor wire. Virgilijus Raugale is a border guard commander.
It's probably impossible to build a totally impassable obstacle, so I think this barrier too could be overcome. But that would take a long time and we would be able to react.
Lithuania wants to build 300 miles of the wall by September next year, supplemented by coiled razor wire and video surveillance. In August, Lithuania started sending almost all entering migrants back to Belarus. More than 5,600 migrants have been prevented from entering since then, the border guard said. Poland's defence ministry, meanwhile, said on Thursday Belarusian soldiers had threatened to open fire on Polish troops just across the border, in what it called an attempt to escalate a crisis over migrants along their common frontier.
Case study: border management at the Estonian-Russian border Narva. The Estonian city of Narva, located right on the border with Russia, is one of Europe's most important frontline locations. It's more than just a border crossing, it's a symbol of east-west tension, and a real test for how countries manage both physical and digital threats. Narva sits on Estonia's eastern border and directly faces the Russian city of Ivangorod across the river. The area is politically sensitive and culturally mixed, with many Russian-speaking residents. Because of this, Estonia faces special challenges here, especially with increasing pressure from Russian influence, migration risks, and cyber threats. Smart border technologies. Estonia has built one of the most advanced border security systems in Europe. Along the Narva border, they use drones to patrol hard-to-reach areas, motion sensors to detect movement, and artificial intelligence to monitor threats in real time. These tools allow Estonia to react quickly, using fewer people and more technology. It's part of what the EU calls smart border management. Cybersecurity and hybrid threats. But the danger isn't just physical. Estonia has also been the target of repeated cyber attacks, some of the earliest and most serious in Europe. These digital threats often come from Russian-linked groups and can affect hospitals, government websites, or even banks. Estonia responded by building strong cyber defenses and becoming a global leader in digital security. Cooperation with EU and NATO. Estonia doesn't work alone. It collaborates with Frontex, the European Border and Coast Guard Agency, and shares information through the EU ROSUR system. It also works with NATO on joint defense and training. This teamwork ensures that border security in Narva supports the whole EU's resilience, not just Estonia's. The Narva border case shows that today's borders are not just fences or checkpoints. They are complex systems that include surveillance, digital tools, and cyber defense. Estonia's approach teaches us that resilience means being ready, on the ground, online, and together with international partners.
Вот в прошлом году, в 2023 году, мы узнали о том, что Россия готовит большой концерт, который обращен не столько на российского зрителя. Этот весь концерт был развернут к нам и предлагался нашим людям, жителям Нарвы, жителям Эстонии. И, конечно, молчаливо реагировать на это мы не могли. Мы крепость, которая стоит прямо на государственной границе. Эта крепость всегда стояла на защите интересов того государства, которое она представляла, и мы вот так решили в день концерта, до начала концерта ранним утром с восходом солнца повесить баннер «Путин – военный преступник».
This picture, Putin is the war criminal. This picture, it's interesting, was taken from the Estonians.
Я думаю, что проблема в том, что люди, которые русскоязычные проживают в Эстонии, конкретно здесь, в Нарве, они не знают эстонского языка. Соответственно, новости смотрят российское телевидение. А от какой-то действительности российской они далеки.
Reede, laupäev, pühapäev Peterburi turiste Narva linnas käis hästi palju. Ma arvan, kaubanduskäibest kuskil 23–25% kuu lõikes olid Vene turistid, seda on näha maksukaartide järgi. Nii et see on ära kukkunud, nii et Narval on selles suured probleemid, et on praegu turistide puudus.
Border resilience today means more than just responding to threats. It's about anticipating risks, adapting quickly, and coordinating across agencies. In the Baltic region, this is achieved through crisis simulations, interagency drills, and intelligence sharing via Eurosur. These proactive steps strengthen preparedness. Rapid response is supported by flexible task forces and real-time digital platforms, allowing quick and informed action. And since EU borders are interconnected, one nation's resilience affects the entire Union. That's why coordination between Frontex, national border guards, and EUROSUR is essential to safeguarding the EU as a whole. The borders of the Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, are more than just dividing lines between countries. They play an important role in protecting not only these nations but also all of Europe. Because these countries are located next to Russia and Belarus, their borders are on the front line of European security. In today's world, the idea of a border has changed. It's not just about guards and fences anymore. Modern threats, like cyber attacks, illegal crossings, or political pressure, require smarter, more flexible ways of protecting borders. That's why it's important to look at borders as part of a larger security system. The Baltic states understand this well. They are working together and with other European countries to improve how they manage and protect their borders. They're using technology, like drones and sensors, to monitor their borders more effectively. They are also sharing information and training with each other to stay prepared for new threats. In addition, these countries are focusing on being resilient. That means being ready to respond quickly and bounce back from any problem, whether it's a security threat or a natural disaster. By working together, staying strong, and thinking ahead, the Baltic states are setting a good example for the rest of Europe. They show how smart border management can help keep countries safe in a world that is constantly changing. These are the sources we used in the prescribed video. Thank you. Team 8. Team members: Ritu Banjade, Riju Oja, Sharmila Bhagati, Sandesh Adhikari, Uma Kumari Gurung, Dipa Gautam.